Talking of strategy, most of us have what Richard Remuel calls bad strategy. And he calls bad strategy because we fail to understand in itself what really strategy is. From this book, Good Strategy, Bad Strategy, he tries to paint a picture for you in terms of making it very clear and easy and even elaborate for you to understand what strategy is. He has developed a really good structural framework of looking at strategy, and he calls this the kernel of a strategy. He says, for something to have a good strategy, it needs to have three things. One, it needs to have a diagnosis of the problem that you really seek to solve. Number two, he talks about having something he calls a guiding principle. Think of it as a how. After we've identified the problem that we have, how are we going to solve that problem? And finally, he talks about having a coherent set of action. What follows what? How are you going to do that? And remember, he argues that the lack of good strategy is not the presence of a bad strategy. When you're thinking about strategy, I want you to think of strategy as the coherency in which you solve the problem that you have. If you are thinking about, maybe say the golden circle, which is popularized by Simon Sinek, where you have to identify your why, we can think of the diagnosis as the why. When you're talking about the how, we can talk of it as the guiding policy of how you solve the problem that you're facing. And finally, the what as the coherent or the sets of action that you need to take to solve that problem. It's a wonderful read. I promise you, you're not going to regret on this one. Check this one out.